That's a good question, actually. Yeah, that's a good question. You know, I think the one thing you learn is, hey Brett,
Go.
how you
Good
doing,
to
buddy?
see you, man.
Yeah. Not a goat right now. Feel like a mouse. I just think you gotta have everyone ready to go. It's real important that you have 20, 25 guys ready to wrestle, down to weight, ready to wrestle, and knowing that, and I've known this, you know, you just sometimes you miss a few beats in practice, and you let somebody drift away a little bit, and when you do that, it comes back to maybe haunt you a little bit. And so, you know, you think about guys like Maltavo, if we would have got the surgery when he hurt his knee, he could have been in the lineup, right? Instead, we decided to see if he could heal up without a surgery, and knowing that's a big risk, and you don't take those risks. You know, we made a mistake. We probably should have had him in surgery long before he had the surgery. Just things like that, you know, and just preparation and recognizing that it's not just a season, it's the year. You know, what we're doing right now, coming back off of finishing 14th, I mean, you know, it's way different than when you have a good year. You know, it's just different things. I mean, there's things that we got to get done. There's things that we got to mend up. You know, I think I've been in Gallagher Ibe Arena in the first 3 days, Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday today. I mean, I think I've spent 12-hour days here. You know, just making, cleaning things up and meetings after meetings, and just, being self-aware of that. It's not where we want to be, and for that reason, these next 4 months for me is going to be real important that we clean a lot of things up, right? And we get people's attitudes back in the right place. You know, I mean, I think we all feel the pain of not performing like we hoped to perform. I think that, and when you feel that pain, sometimes your chin drops. We can't let chins drop right now. We need to keep heads high, and we need to be the program that we're capable of being.
In terms of thinking, the year, essentially next year started Sunday, effectively. I mean, have you started thinking about, is there anything different you do, whether it's training or weightlifting or anything like that, at least over these next few months to start the season?
I think it's real important. We need to do a better job of working on relationships with each other and with athletes, and that's where it starts. And not that there was a problem with it. It just, let's do better. Relationships are important. People believing in you is important. And when you have confidence in each other, then results normally happen. And so I'm not saying that we were fractured by any reason. I think we had some situations that occurred during the season that seemed to, punch us, and maybe we didn't recover from them quick enough, and moaned around, pissed. Very careful what I say. Just kind of didn't approach it, and you don't have a day to sit around and pout. You got to get up and go, and maybe we took those punches a little bit too long to recover from.
So, Coach, would you say that depth kind of somewhat became, you said you really want to have like 20 to 25 wrestlers ready to wrestle. So would you say in kind of the second half of the season, with injuries and just a lot of adversity, depth became an issue for the squad?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Because of injuries.
Right.
You got to look at guys like Gavin Sticka. I mean, he's not a 97-pounder. He's an 84-pounder, right? And you just, in today's age and how competitive it is, you can't bump someone up. And, and and put him in a position to have success. I mean, I have a lot of respect for Gavin. You know, he didn't have to do that. He did it. You know, and he was injured because of the weight, the difference, and he wrestled through an injury the second half of the season. You know, and so. What a great kid! I mean, I think you've heard me say this over and over again.
Yeah.
This guy is an unbelievable young man. He needs to meet one of my daughters.
With where you guys finished and with the Big 12 or with the national championships being in Tulsa next year, does that make next year kind of all the more important that you go defend kind of home turf up there?
You know, I can't even think of that far along. You know, I think I'm really excited about the fact that where wrestling is right now. You know, our NWCA is incredible what they've done. Over 300 programs since the year started. 300 new programs since the year of year 2000. You know, I mean, it's just incredible. You know, a lot of good things and positive things are happening, and one of those positives is the NCAA championships being at Tulsa. You know, those guys worked really hard over there. Our staff has worked hard. We had a lot of people that went up to Detroit that saw some of the things that they were doing, and I think that next year's NCAA championship might be the best one ever. To tell you the truth, I think that Tulsa's ready, you know, and they're serious about it. And, they made a big commitment to the Big 12 championship, you know, and with that. They were awarded the national championship because of that effort. Yeah, so we're excited.
What were the atmospheres like at Big 12 and then at the NCAA's?
What was what?
The atmospheres, like the stadium, the fans, and everything there.
Well, you know, we didn't hear enough. You know, I mean, I think the Big 12. You know, we had our moments. You know, it's pretty. At Nationals, we had our moments. We had. You know, I think the last day was a tough day for us, but I thought Thursday and Friday that we competed well. You know, we needed a couple of situations that we needed to wrestle through. You know, and I think it could have made a little bit of a difference in the outcome, but it is what it is. The atmosphere, I didn't really pay close attention to it, but I think I'm sure it was good.
Throughout this past season, there was several guys kind of throughout the lineup where wrestling on bottom was a struggle. What can they do? What do you want them to do to, you know,
Get
over
up.
the next?
Get up.
But how? I mean, what do they do? Is it just, you know, getting stronger? Is it, you know, will? Like what do they work on?
I think we made mistakes. We made a mistake this year of underestimating it, and our skill sets were really we struggled a little bit. But remember, it was with a lot of young people. The people that were young struggled with getting off bottom, you know, and that's always, you know, it's always been a challenge when early on in guys' careers to build that confidence on bottom, you know, and so you know, in the end, it cost us a whole lot of matches. I mean, in the Big 12 and the NCAA championship, us struggling on bottom cost us a lot of wins. We would have won matches, you know. Like you think of Carter's match for first round, you know. Kid ended up, what did he end up, fourth or fifth? Morgan State?
Oh, yeah.
What did he end up?
I mean, up there.
I think he finished
fourth or
fourth.
fifth. I don't
Yeah.
know exactly what.
But you know, I mean, you get off bottom, you win that match. I think that particular match that day, you know, he, you know, and I can tell you in a lot of situations, you know, that I want to say between the Big 12 and the NCAA championship probably cost us six wins that we could have won. We would have won. I believe that. We got to correct it. Right? I mean, and it's with skill, you know, it's skill, determination, and level of confidence you just have to have when you go down.
Is that then just training in the room, or?
Yeah, it's training, it's
Okay.
learning, it's
Okay.
it's teaching, I gotta have some skill sets to get off bottom. You know, I need to recognize, you know, that my tripod and things like that. I need to do inside stand-ups. You know, add the grappling to it. You know, when I say grappling, side rows, switches, set out turn-ins. You know, things that historically have been real successful over hundreds of years, 100 years anyway. You know.
Coach, Coach, you talk about the youth. You know, you've talked about the youth of the team a lot this year. You talked about the youth of the team a lot this year. Do you feel like there was enough gained with some of those younger guys?
Enough what?
Enough gained, just like from the beginning of the season to just kind of move forward.
Experience.
Not really.
I think the
that, just-
experience, right? I think, you know, you don't normally, a lot of times you don't see the gain right away. You know, you see the experience. They wake up and go on, you know, hey, this is a little tougher than I thought. You know, I get what Coach means by me being a little tougher, you know. And so, you know, it's like anything, you know. You got a year of experience, you know what the season's like, you know that week in and week out, you could go 5 weeks in a row, you know, wrestling somebody that's good and tough. I need to keep my mind stable, and I need to keep my attitude stable, and I need to keep my weight stable, and a lot of responsibility. I think that experience really helps the young guys understand that there's a responsibility that you have to have outside of what coach is always preaching, you know, and that's the good thing. You know, you need to get better. You had an experience, and whether it was good or whether it was negative, you know, learn from the experience and grow from it.
With the COVID year, you have some guys that have decisions to make whether they're coming back or not. What kind of conversations do you have with those guys?
Well, you know, it's a challenging one. I tell you that. You know, some of those guys, like Harris, didn't start this year. You know, and Wyatt and G. Feller would be the other two. You know, and so you know, I think it's a process of you know. I treat them like, you know, that this is your last year. You know, you don't want to. You just, when you think in terms of it being your last year, you know, you're going to lay everything out there, you know, and then all of a sudden coming back and, hey, can you give us one more year? You know, I think it takes some time and some processing to decide whether it's the best thing for them.
Well, obviously, it's a little different for G because he's also got a little one that he's expecting soon. And I know he's kind of insinuated that this is likely his last year because he's got to start thinking about family.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Maybe. Yeah, I think we can. If you'd want to come back, I think he can be in a good situation. You know, it's not going to. It's going to be a plus for his family, not a negative. So we'll see how that works out. You know, so. You know, 6 years in college it's a grind, but for G. Feller, you know, he's only wrestled 2 seasons, so maybe there's some hope for him to come back.
At those weights, considering at least with Dakota, you know definitively that he doesn't have another year, and then those other 2 possibly. At those weights, what do you want to see over the next 7 months with their backups to where you're going to feel a little bit better come October?
Yeah. And what weights are you talking about? 41, 49, 84?
Oh, 49, 57, and 84.
Yeah, 49, 57, 84. Yeah. Got some good people coming in, and we got some good people in the room, you know. So, Montalvo, Haas, 84, pretty solid couple guys there, you know. And So I think, if we end up with new faces in the lineup at those weight classes, I think we're going to be in good shape.
For the most part, you've developed within the room, haven't really gone to the transfer portal that much, except for, I guess, Dakota. Do you expect that to change? Do you look in the portal more this offseason? What are your kind of thoughts on that?
The portal's a joke. You do know that, right? It's an out. So, but yeah, you gotta be looking at the portal, and it's created an environment that is a little bit toxic, but it's part of our life now, So, absolutely, you got to look at it.
Like